Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sama sambuddhassa. Theravada Buddhism series, Dhamma talk number 100. Rahula, Discourses. Rahula, Suttas. Rahula was the only son of Prince Siddhartha Gautama and his wife, Princess Yasodhara. Right after Rahula's birth, the prince renounced the throne and the family and became a seeker for deathlessness. Buddha went to Kapilavatthu at his father King Sudarsana's invitation after his first rain retreat as Buddha. That means about 7 years after he had left the palace to become a recluse. On that trip, he ordained his half-brother Nanda and asked Venerable Satipatthana, his right-hand disciple, to ordain his son Rahula as a novice at Nigrodha Park near Savatthi. When all these events took place, his father was a bit saddened. He had lost his 2 sons, his grandson, to the order. So the king requests the Buddha to set down a certain rule, which the Buddha did. The Buddha laid down a rule that underage children, which means under 20, must not be ordained without their parents' approval. The acceptance of Rahula as the first novice, in Pali called Samanera, novice Samanera, to the monastic order at the age of 7 greatly impacted the Buddhist tradition, where children can learn Buddhist teachings from childhood and onwards. The Buddha taught Rahula using the method of questions and answers and examples a child could understand. The instruction became most sophisticated as Rahula grew older. One thing we need to know is Rahula, his parami is mature in this life, so he's not like any ordinary child. Just like nowadays, child genius came up at the age of 4, 5, 6, 7, can play piano like the masters, and mathematics at the level of postgraduate level, that's called maturity. But this is for liberation. Rahula received the foremost title in eagerness to learn and follow instructions and observance of rule. That title in Pali is called Sekhakamnam. He is the foremost in that area, bar none. Just like Sariputtra is the foremost, bar none, in terms of wisdom next to Buddha, Shimoggallana is foremost, bar none, in terms of psychical power next to Buddha. So there are about 11 disciples. They each have their own unique titles. No one has it but only that person for that behaviors or art. Every morning Rahula threw a handful of sand in the air, and he wished, may I learn as many lessons as the grains of sand in my hand. That's how eager he was to learn, to study, to follow instructions. Buddha and his preceptor Sariputtra. Preceptor means the one who actually ordained a person into the order. In this case is Sariputtra. And Shimoggallana taught Rahula. That was at the age of 7, 8. And now he has reached the age of 20. Age 20, he received a higher ordination, Upasampada. Higher ordination is from novice, now he became a fully ordained monk, bhikkhu. And this took place at the Jetavana monastery in Savatthi city in Kosala kingdom. And that year at that place, Buddha spent his 14th rain retreat. So at Buddha's 14th rain retreat, what significant things, that notable thing that happened is Venerable Rahula got ordained at age 20. And also the first year he became Arahant. That was the notable thing. We call it notable, and I'm talking this title as Discourses of Rahula, which mean discourses or suttas delivered by the Buddha based on the account of Rahula. That doesn't mean that only Rahula can use it or apply it or useful. It is intended for everybody. Anybody who enter the monastic order as a novice or fully ordained bhikkhu. For everyone, these suttas are important. So based on Rahula's account, Buddha delivered many suttas. But in here, we will point out a few notable sutta. Buddha taught Rahula at Ambadatika. Ambadatika is the name of a place. How it gets is, maybe it is a place, a meditation place, near a mango tree. Maybe Rahula reside or stay there under the mango tree and meditate. That is his spot. So, Ambadatika means a place near a mango tree, or some people even translate as mango stone. But whatever it is, that's the name of the place. And that place is at the outer edge of Veluvana monastery where Buddha was residing. It's a Veluvana Park. That is the reason this sutta is called Ambadatika Rahulovada. And Buddha delivered this discourse when Rahula was at the age of 7, 8, just around there. One evening, Rahula arranged a seat and a bowl of water for Buddha to wash his feet. When he saw the Buddha at a distance coming towards where he was, Buddha took the seat, washed his feet, and taught Rahula the discourse. It used 4 different modes using water, one mode using warrior elephant, and the third and a mirror as analogies. And that is, sutta is about lying voids, spiritual life, leading to more misdeeds and misconducts. That's the content of the sutta. This one, as it was the first one, we are going to go through all the contents, but not as detailed as in the scripture. Otherwise, just this sutta alone will take full time to talk. Just a gist of it. So the first verse or the first teaching was, after washing his feet, the Buddhist left a dismal amount of water in the bowl and said, "Did you see there's a little bit of water left in the bowl?" Of course, Rahula said, "Yes, my Lord." And then the Buddhist said, "Just like that dismal amount of water in the bowl, one who knowingly lies without shame has a very, very slim chance of attaining noble Bhikkhu Dharma to eradicate mental defilements." And here Buddha used the words noble Bhikkhu Dharma, specifically for Bhikkhu. Bhikkhus are people who are practicing to escape from the round of samsara. That is the goal, that is the objective. Noble, Ariya, Bhikkhu, monk, and Dharma. So the first one. And then Buddha poured out the remaining water and then asked that question again. "Did you see I have poured out all the water?" Rahula said, "Yes, my Lord." And Buddha said, "Just as I have discarded the rest of the water, one who knowingly lies without shame throw away the noble Bhikkhu Dharma that eradicates mental defilements." So second. And the third, Buddha turned the bowl upside down and said, "Just like the overturned bowl, one who knowingly lies without shame has forsaken the noble Bhikkhu Dharma that eradicates mental defilements." And in the fourth stance, the Buddha turned up the bowl empty of water, because after he turned upside down, all the waters are gone, not even a drop, empty water. And said, "Just like this bowl with no water, one who lies knowingly without shame has no noble Bhikkhu Dharma that eradicates mental defilements." So, using that water and the bowl, in the four instances, Buddha gave examples and teach Rahula basically not to lie, musavada. And how important it is lying. Okay, we every day take precepts. I refrain myself from lying. Musavada, Vedamani, Sikhabram, Samadhiyami. We say very lightly, carelessly, in fact, some. But here, teaching to Rahula, we can see how important and significant this act is. Knowingly lies without shame. So we should pay heed related to lying, slander, and so on. Buddha said knowingly lie because children at that age, sometimes they just say something happened, not me, very carelessly. Sometimes they know, sometimes they don't know. they tend to lie little things as if it's not important. And here Buddha emphasizes one who knowingly lies without shame will never have or attain the Dharma that can eradicate all mental defilements and lead to liberation. Okay, let's go on. Number 5. Buddha used the warrior elephants as an analogy. Warrior elephants means in the olden days in the battles, the king used foot soldiers, horses, chariots, and elephants to fight. So that's why these elephants are called warrior elephants. And these elephants use every part of the body to crush the enemies. They kick with the front feet, kick with the hind legs, use the body, push, rush, and so on. Every part of the body to crush the enemies. But they hide their trunks in their mouth. While they are doing that, they don't really use the trunk to fight. Because they know if they use their trunk to fight, that spot under the trunk is a soft spot. If an arrow or spear gets into it, they could die. However, some elephants, they use all their body parts, including the trunks. They will use the trunk, pull out the tree trunk or pull out a spear, a branch, and beat everybody around, crush the enemies. But at the same time, they are keeping themselves vulnerable. If somebody can really aim a spear while the elephant was lifting the trunk, they could throw into it, and that's just it. That's a soft spot. And they do like this because they are not fearful of death, or they are not fearful of the danger that is coming. Just like that elephant, one who lies knowingly with no shame, does not have anything they dare not do to hurt or harm others. Those liars will do anything and everything to hurt or harm others. That's the 5th example. The 6th is, Buddha asked a question to Rahula. Do you know what are the benefits of a mirror? And Rahula replied that one can detect faults on one face in the mirror. But if you look in the mirror, it will reflect and you can see anything and everything on your face. Good, bad, pimples, scars, good makeup, bad makeup, and so on. It reflects everything. The mirror reflects. And then Buddha said, whenever one is doing the 3 actions, physical actions, verbal actions, mental actions, those 3 actions must be moral, with self-control. That's what I say. And how can you make sure that it's moral and self-control? Because just like the mirror, one has to reflect, one has to be aware before, during, and after one's action with consideration, always reflecting. If you are going to do something, you reflect whether that hurts or harms others, including yourself. While you're doing, still reflect. There might be a deviation. And after, take the whole picture and reflect again. There's no hurt or harm to others, including self. Because if there is a little bit, you can improve the next time. So, in here is not just lying, physical deed, verbal deed, that's where the lying comes in, and even the thought level. Buddha's teaching Rahula, yoniso manasikara, wise attention. Of course, Buddha didn't use that yoniso manasikara. He just simply say, while you're going to do something, think, will it hurt or harm anyone, and including yourself, or speech or thought for that matter? Simple. So that is the sutta called Empathatika Rahula Sutta. So that becomes more like a standard. Okay. Rahula entering the order gives a Buddhist culture, Buddhist tradition that all children can enter. Not only the adult can stay there and practice, even the children can learn and practice. That is tradition itself. And the first and foremost important thing is not to lie. Okay, so this one we go quite a little bit detail. I'll mention a few other suttas that are notable. Buddha taught Abhina Rahulovada Sutta. That's the name of the sutta. That sutta is about how to abandon attachments to four requisites. Four requisites means there are four things Buddhists allow the monks to have or to use, more precisely. The robes that you're wearing, the food that you eat, and the shelter that you live and practice, and medicine. Not to get attached to it. And also how to abandon the desire for five sense pleasure, okay. Beautiful forms, pleasant sound, nice smell, delicious taste, and a very soothing touch. Five sense pleasure. And also Buddha taught him the benefits of associating with good friends, kalyana metta. See, we heard it all the time, and it seems like it comes from the left ear and go out from the right ear. But they are critically important to be a bhikkhu who is practicing for liberation. And the next sutta the Buddha taught is called Samanera Bana. Samanirapana. That sutta contains certain patterns or certain definitions or lines that one needs to follow throughout the life of a monastic order. Whether you are Samanera or whether you are Bhikkhu, these are the must-follow rules, let's call it. Must understand concepts, must practice and do. These are the must. That is Samanera Pana. And the other sutta is Discourse. One day Buddha was going for an alms round. Rahula saw, so he quickly put on his robe, take the begging bowl, alms bowl, and follow the Buddha along the rounds for alms. At that time, it occurs in the mind of Rahula. At that time, he was about 18 years old, fully, almost close to adult. And he was very proud. He was very proud and have even delights. He feels good about his looks as well as the Buddha's look. That's what he feels at that time in his thoughts. Buddha knows that's what thought went through Rahula. So at the appropriate time, the Buddha taught Rahula to abandon raga. Raga means lust. Okay. Lust means whether it's material, inside or outside. That means another person looks or other things outside. Or inside means yourself, to yourself. Whether you are proud and attached, take delight in yourself, in your looks or what you have, and other looks. How to abandon raga in the material things of interior nature or exterior nature, and also the mental states. And all these things, Buddha said, one must view. There is neither self nor any part of self in these things, external or internal material and mental states. And that sutta is called Maha Rahulowada Sutta. Maha Rahulowada Sutta. So if one is interested, go and look for the title and study in detail. And also Buddha taught Rahula in a Rahula Sutta about how to meditation, anapanasati, in breath, out breath, mindfulness, Satipatthana, and so on. And another sutta is called Rahula Samyutta. It is a collection of dharmas. It is not that this whole sutta is sit down and talk in one sitting or one time. It has been taught a line here, a line there, a few minutes here, a few minutes there, wherever appropriate, throughout time, while he was from 7 years old till you become a ordained monk. It's about the external elements, sound, sight, smell, taste, touch, or 6 internal elements. It's about vijnana, consciousness. It's about 5 aggregates, all these things, collection of dharma. So they are all put together as samyukta. But the purpose of these collections of Dharma is to penetrate insight. To penetrate insight. Precisely, vipassana insight. And banishing conceit, mana. Mana, basically ego, basically as self. Okay. Reflecting on all these things as they are impermanence, suffering and non-self, anicca, dukkha and anatta. So that is the in-depth nature. Many articles talk at many different times. And here in this talk, this will be the last one. At age 20, at the Jetavana Monastery, Jetavon Chang in Burmese, at the 14th rain retreat of the Buddha, Rahula reached the age of 20, so he got ordained and become a bhikkhu. Now you can call him Venerable Rahula. And that's when he was ordained, and of course he got to go through the rain retreat. His first rain retreat, the Buddha's 14th rain retreat. His first rain retreat as a bhikkhu, right at the beginning of the first rain retreat, Buddha went to Rahula, who was at Endawana. It's the name of the place, Endawana. Rahula was there alone. Buddha went there and taught Rahula. As a human, he is the only one, but there is a great numbers of devas. What is said in the scriptures is these devas are somehow cross paths with Rahula many times since the time of his first wishing. And these celestial beings and Rahula heard this sutta. It's called Sula Rahulavada Sutta. Sula, C-U-L-A, Sula Rahulavada Sutta. It is regarding the impermanence of all things. All things are in a state of flux. And also how to overcome all traces, even the smallest traces, smallest unwholesome mental activities in the mind. That is the objective of that sutta. After he had the sutta, he went alone and contemplate upon it. In other words, practice. And then Rahula became the Arahant. In other words, the fourth noble person. This is the last life one will be there, and there's no rebirth after that life. The end of all suffering, escape from the rounds of rebirth. So those are the notable suttas, and they are very, very good to read, to learn, to understand, and to practice for all ages. Children of 7, 8, 9 years old till to the bhikkhus. Not just 20, whether you are 60 or 80, if you haven't finished the work of a bhikkhu, These are critically important. May all of you be able to practice Satipatthana Vipassana and be able to liberate oneself as Venerable Rahula did at the age of 20 as soon as possible. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you very much.